The 6th of June, 1944. 0500 hours. Aboard the LCT-707, 3 miles off the Normandy coast, the English Channel churns like a beast awakened. Salt spray lashes your face as you huddle in the dim pre-dawn light, the deck vibrating underfoot from the relentless diesel engines. Around you, the outlines of massive shapes loom Sherman tanks, their turrets silhouetted against the faint glow on the horizon. But these aren't ordinary Shermans. No, these beasts have a secret. Canvas skirts folded along their hulls, waiting to unfurl like sails from hell. The air reeks of oil, fear, sweat, and the metallic tang of gunmetal. Sergeant Bill Hawkins grips the turret ring, his knuckles white, whispering a prayer as waves crash against the landing craft's bow. "Steady, lads," he mutters to his crew. "We're about to swim with the fishes or through 'em." The first artillery shells whistle overhead, exploding in distant blooms of fire on the beaches ahead. Gold Beach, Omaha, Sword. The names mean nothing yet, but the thunder promises everything. In moments, these tanks will drop into the sea, defying gravity, defying reason. How did it come to this? One man's wild idea, born in a workshop far from this chaos, about to rewrite the rules of war. Section 1. The mechanic's audacious dream. In the shadowed confines of a modest workshop in London, 1941, Nicholas Strausler wipes grease from his hands, staring at the scale model before him. A Hungarian émigré, once a mechanic tinkering with cars in Budapest. Spring 1943. Fritton Decoy. A secluded lake in the Norfolk countryside, shrouded in secrecy and morning mist. The water laps gently against the reeds, as a Valentine tank, lighter, older, but the first real testbed, sits on the bank like a reluctant swimmer. Nicholas Strausler stands nearby, collar turned up against the chill, watching as engineers pump compressed air into the rubber tubes lining the canvas screen. Hiss. Pop. The skirt rises slowly, 3 feet of fragile wall encircling the hull. You can almost smell the fresh rubber and hear the nervous laughter of the crew inside. "Looks like a bloody pram," one gunner mutters through the open hatch. This is where the dream collides with reality. Early trials on the Thames had been promising calm water, controlled conditions, but here, at Fritton, the wind picks up, waves slap the canvas. The tank edges in, propellers churning foam. For a moment, it floats, glides. Then a gust catches the high screen like a sail. Tilt. Panic. Water pours over the top. The Valentine disappears in a boil of bubbles. Crew scrambling through escape hatches with lungs burning. Strausler freezes on the shore, notebook limp in his hand. Another failure, but not the end. Enter Major General Percy Hobart, eccentric, brilliant, once retired at Churchill's personal insistence because the brass thought him too unorthodox. Mad, they called him. Now, in 1943, Churchill himself resurrects him to command the newly formed 79th Armored Division. Hobart's. The 5th of June, 1944. 2,200 hours. Weymouth Harbor, Dorset. The blacked-out docks pulse with quiet, urgent life. Searchlights are doused. Voices are low. The only sounds are the creak of mooring lines, the low throb of idling engines, and the soft clank of tools as last-minute checks are made. LCT's landing craft tank rock gently against the quayside, their flat bows gaping open like waiting jaws. Inside each, 3, sometimes 4, D.D. Shermans sit chained to the deck, engines silent, canvas skirts folded tight against the hulls like folded wings. The tanks gleam dully under the faint red night lights, their 75mm guns pointed forward, muzzles capped against spray. Inside tank number 12, Lucky Lucy. Sergeant Bill Hawkins leans against the turret ring, cigarette unlit between his lips. His driver, Trooper Jimmy Cole, checks the propellers for the 10th time. Loader gunner Titch Malone polishes the breech with a rag, more for something to do than necessity. Radio operator Lance Corporal Eddie Price tunes the set, listening to the faint crackle of last-minute orders. They've trained for this for months. Stokes Bay, Studland, the Solent in winter gales. They've watched Valentine DDs sink, seen men pulled half-drowned from the water. They know the math. 1 foot waves are the limit. Anything more, and the skirt floods. The tank becomes an iron coffin. "You reckon it'll hold, Sarge?" Jimmy asks, voice barely above a whisper. Hawkins exhales slowly. "Strausler built it. Hobart believes I." The 6th of June, 1944. 0430 hours. 3 miles off Gold Beach, Normandy. The world is a roar of wind and water. The LCT pitches wildly, bow dipping into troughs that send icy spray cascading over the deck. Sergeant Hawkins clings to the turret, his oilskin soaked through, tasting salt on his lips. The horizon is a smear of gray dawn creeping like a thief. Ahead, the faint rumble of naval guns. Hems, Ajax, and Argonaut pounding the shore batteries. Explosions light the sky in staccato flashes, illuminating pillboxes perched on cliffs like watchful gargoyles. The air vibrates with the thunder of B-17 seconds overhead, their bomb bays emptying death on the defenses. "Prepare to launch!" The LCT skipper's voice crackles over the intercom. Strained against the gale, force 6 winds whip the channel into a frenzy waves cresting 4-5 feet high, far beyond Strausler's 1 foot limit. Hawkins glances at his crew. Jimmy's face is pale in the red light. Titch nods grimly. Eddie adjusts his headset, relaying the order. DD's away in 2 minutes. Inside the tank, the ritual begins. Hawkins barks commands. Inflate screens. Compressed air hisses through valves, the canvas skirt unfolding with a series of pops and groans. It rises 3 feet, 4 encircling the hull like a rubberized bathtub. The Sherman sways as the LCT's ramp lowers with a hydraulic whine, kissing the waves. Water surges up, foaming around the treads. Props engage. The rear idlers spin, blades biting water. Hawkins feels the vibra. The 6th of June, 1944. 0630 hours. Gold Beach, sector item, just east of Aeromanches. The first light of day bleeds red across smoke-choked water. The sea is a graveyard of canvas and steel. Floating debris bobs between the dead life vests, shattered hatches, the blackened turret of a DD Sherman half submerged like a broken tooth. Yet amid the wreckage, the survivors grind forward. Sergeant Hawkins's Lucky Lucy claws onto the shingle, tracks spinning in wet gravel before biting solid ground. The skirt collapses with a wet slap as the last of the trapped seawater drains away. Jimmy Cole guns the engine. The Sherman lurches up the slope, 75 millimeters already traversing. "Target, 12 o'clock, pillbox," Hawkins shouts. The gun roars. A flash, a scream of steel. The concrete emplacement erupts in dust and flame. German defenders, stunned, stare at the apparition rising from the surf tanks that should not be here. Guns that should not fire until the infantry has cleared a path. That single moment of disbelief is the gift Nicholas Strausler's invention delivers. Shock. Pure, paralyzing shock. Across Gold, the pattern repeats. The 50th Northumbrian Division's DD tanks of the 4th, 7th Royal Dragoon Guards, and Nottinghamshire Yeomanry reach the beach in ragged groups. Some arrive early, some late, some never. Of the 40-odd Shermans launched from the 13th, 18th Hussars, and Sherwood Rangers, roughly half make it ashore. Enough. Just enough. They fan out along the tide line, blasting MG nests, Silenci. The 6th of June, 1944. 1,100 hours. Inland from Gold Beach, near the ruined village of Vers-sur-Mer. Dust hangs thick in the summer air, stirred by the growl of engines and the crack of small arms fire. The surviving duplex-drive Shermans press forward in loose formation, hulls still dripping seawater, canvas skirts. Now, limp rags draped over the sides like battle flags after a storm. Sergeant Hawkins stands half out of the commander's hatch, binoculars pressed to his eyes, scanning the hedgerows ahead. The Bocage country has begun tight lanes, sunken roads, high earthen banks crowned with thick thorn. Perfect killing ground for the waiting Germans. Yet, the DDs have already done what no one thought possible. They delivered armor to the beach at the moment of maximum danger. Behind them, the tide has turned. Infantry battalions surge inland, using the tanks as mobile strongpoints. A platoon of Green Howards follows Lucky Lucy, men running crouched, rifles at the ready. When an 88mm opens up from a camouflaged position near the church spire, Hawkins reacts instantly. Driver, advance. Gunner, traverse, left fire. The 75mm slams back, smoke belching from the muzzle. The German gun position vanishes in a gout of earth and flame. Cheers rise from the infantry. For the first time that morning, the Germans feel the initiative slipping. Similar scenes unfold along the British and Canadian sectors. On Juno, the Fort Garry Horse DDs push through Coursoy-sur-Mer, blasting